Hello to everyone that joined us more recently, and thank you for joining us on this webinar. Today we'll be covering VTStack. So for this presentation, I will be leading the presentation. So my name is Shams CAVELIER. I'm a customer success manager here at Serious Factory. Maybe some of you have spoken with me before. If not, well, maybe sometime soon. And I'm joined today by Cindy.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I'm the head of customer success. I will be answering your question in the chat box.
So yeah, as Cindy said, feel free to send us all of your questions in the chat box. We'll keep an eye out for them and answer them as they come. Up. So what is VTStack? VTStack is the latest platform that we've created to help all of the VTS users, so VTS Editor, VTS Perform, to help them in the whole in this mechanic of leading the learning innovation. So we've based VTStack on three main pillars, which are always helping you while you're working on VTS Editor. So helping you construct strong narration in your projects, boost the immersion of your learners on the projects that you've made, on the serious games that you have created with VTS Editor, and helping you put some gamification in the projects that you work on. The main goal is basically to empower the trainers, empower you as well as creators, to make sure that you have all of the tools at your disposal to create the best projects with the best tools. So as you can see, we have four sections on VTStack, which we will get into with more details right in a couple of minutes. Basically, we'll have some design elements which will help you put some to help you create more beautiful projects. Graph extracts that will help you really get into this gamification mechanics and ensure that you keep your learners in this immersion in the projects that you create. A sound library as well that we will see is free of use, so basically that you can use in your projects without fear of, do I have the rights of using it or not? And some conception materials, which we will see in a couple of minutes what they really what's their purpose. So let's switch to VTStack. There we go. If any of you have any issue seeing my screen, feel free to tell us in the chat as well, and we will try to see what we can do to make it better. So first of all, let's get into graph extracts. These extracts, this library of extracts that we have, will allow you, once you import them in VTS Editor, to use them in your projects to create some mechanics that would maybe have taken a lot of time to create otherwise, especially since a lot of these extracts use variables. And as we all know, variables can require some testing and some getting used to. So yeah, what we decided is to make your life easier and create those projects that you can access, that you can import and use in the modules that you will create. So how does it work? Basically, you're going to go into one of in the graph that will interest you. So for example, we're watching right now the digicode graph, and basically you will have what it looks like from the learner's point of view. Of course, everything in there is customizable, so feel free to let your imagination roam free. And you will also have a preview of what the graph really looks like. So these snippets of graph, you will just take them, put them in VTS Editor, change one or two parameters to make sure that it fits your project, and then it's good to go. So easy to import, easy to insert, and easy to use. This is like really the main objective of those VTStacks. As of today, we have this library that we will, and this will be the case for each and everything that we will see on the VTStack platform. This library will be, and we will add more content as time goes on, and as you give us your feedback as well. So please feel free to tell us if you have this or that need, or you've seen this mechanic and it looks amazing and you would like to add it in your projects. And we will see how we can create a VTStack that is versatile, that you can use in every situation, and that everyone can adapt to their specific projects. So there we have VTStack. Let's move on to the design elements. So those design elements, as well as everything on VTStack, as I said before, is first of all included in your subscription with VTS Editor, meaning that you don't have anything, you can use them as they are, download them, import them, use them. And since we've made them, they are public resources, meaning that you can use them without the question of, do I legally have the right to use this image? You absolutely can, and you absolutely should. So as you can see, we've added quite a number of images that you can use in your projects, such as buttons, badges, as we can see them, buttons that you can use with clickable zones to put them in your projects and allow your learners to interact with some graphical elements that will suit the projects that you are creating. Might it be something more futuristic, something maybe more natural? We'll let you look into all of this and discover all of the library, as well as some windows that you can use, for example, to show some text, to put an image in front of the learner. Most of these elements will be used with the clickable zones, and you will read including even the badges if you want to. The main idea is really to give you as much visual elements as possible. We know not all of you have people with graphic skills, so this hopefully will help you get rid of this constraint and really create something that is beautiful and that you are proud of.
One question that we had in the French webinar is that will there be a button to download all the elements? There will be soon a button to download all the assets to make you save time, and then you will be able to download all in one button, and then directly put in a folder, for example, on your computer, and then use it in your VTS projects.
Absolutely. The goal is always to make your life easier. So as you use the platform, and as always with all of the virtual training suite elements that we've developed, feel free to give us your feedback as time goes on of what you feel might be a better way or an easier way for you to use these platforms. So now we move on to the sound library, and especially this will help a lot of you because we know finding sounds on the internet that can go in your projects can be quite time consuming or costly. So the idea here is that we've worked with music producers that work in our company. So shout out to Guillaume if he's watching. Basically, we have worked on all those effects, those atmospheric, those ambience, basically sounds. For example, like an airport atmosphere that you can put and listen to really push. This is more on the immersion side of things to make sure that your learner is as immersed in your project as possible. So of course this goes through the visuals and through the sound.
It's giving a realistic ambience and look and feel to your modules. It's very important for the immersion.
Absolutely. So we absolutely encourage you to use this and as much as possible, because we know this helps achieve really projects that you will be proud of, and hopefully we will be proud of with you. And finally, some music elements that you can use. We're working these days on really creating some jingles or like some music that is a bit longer than the like 10 to 15 seconds that you've seen until now, so that you can use it maybe as a background music or as menu music, for example. If you have any specific needs or that you feel that some form of category might be more interesting for you, as always, feel free to tell us. And finally, the last thing that we have is conception tools, conception documents. So this is kind of specific and really for the people that will be using VTS Editor. Might it be the learning engineers or learning, we call them conceptors in French. Basically the people that will be using VTS Editor and the people that will be creating the scenarios that will go on VTS Editor. So as of today, we have the 9-step pedagogical scripting methodology that some of you have already used on your projects to kind of help you as a guide. This is kind of a guideline to help you create your projects. As time goes on, we will add more content that is really created by our training team and will be destined for the people that are working on VTS Editor to make sure that they have as much resources that speak directly to them as possible. As always, our objective is to make sure that you as a user are really enjoying and I'd say even evolving while using VTS Editor. So yeah, we'll be working on this to make sure that digital learning as a whole can benefit from whatever we can add to the conversation.
I think we will soon add a document to help you enhance the pronunciation for your characters in VTS Editor. We're using, how to say in English, les balises,
the rich text.
How to enrich your text and make the avatar with their synthetic voices sound more like a real human speaking. So of course you can use your studio voices, and also on this point you will have some help on our documentation, even in this document, but the point is really to enhance the synthetic voices.
Absolutely. So right now we've seen all of VTStack. The main idea with this whole platform is that we really encourage you to use it as much as possible. Use everything that is put into it. Of course, Cindy and myself will be glad to assist all of you that have some questions or have some feedback on this platform. As of the 6.1 point, was it the 6.1.1? Yeah. As of the 6.1.1 version of VTS Editor, you also have a button in the app that takes you directly to this section, to this page. And our aim in the long run is really to make sure that everything that is on this page, you will be able to access it in app. So this is something that we are, as of today, thinking of and seeing how we can make it. And as time goes on and as the library gets more and more rich, we will go towards this end. I think we've seen everything. Cindy, have I forgotten anything?
No, that's perfect. I will just give you some more information based on what we had in the French version of the webinar. So to use the graphs, you will need the 6.1 minimum. Just make sure that your license is updated to use VTStack. Again, 6.1 at least, so you can download the graphs and use them in your VTS editor. Also about the graphs, the extracts of graphs, you might notice that some of them have they have variables in it. So say all of our clients having the gold packs, the immersion packs, gold packs and above, will be able to download the graphs with some variables, but of course we're working on extracts of graphs without any variables in it. So for example, interfaces won't necessarily need variables. So some of them will have a version without variables, but of course all the technical kind of mini games and so on will contain some variables. So for those ones, you will require the gold immersion pack and above.
Mhm. Absolutely, and of course, we know that not everyone has an immersion pack, so we will develop as much as possible those storytelling compatible VTStacks. And this is really specific to the graph extracts, because basically everything else you can use as of today and import them directly on VTS editor. So
yes, or any tool. Basically, all the elements that you have is PNG and sounds that you can even use in different tools, except for VTS graphs.
absolutely.
Perfect.
Do we have any questions in the chat?
No, we have just one person, but that's not a question. Okay, we'll wait maybe 2 more minutes to have the questions if you have.
Absolutely. Feel free to send us your question in the question box. We'll wait a few minutes more, and then either way, if you have any additional question, or if you're watching this in replay, well, feel free to contact us. So either if you have a CSM, so a customer success manager that you're already speaking to, feel free to reach out to them so that we can actually talk about it and see how this will apply to your specific projects. And if you don't have one yet, well, either contact your VTS expert or Cirrus Factory as a whole, and we'll be glad to help you either way. Well, it looks like everything was clear. I guess all that is left is, first of all, to thank all of you that were here or that will watch this in replay. We really hope that this platform will help you as much as possible. We're really waiting for your feedback as well, so really feel free to reach out to us. And in the meantime, I guess all that is left to say is have a very great day, and yeah, happy creating with VTS Editor.
Have a nice day. Bye.